I've often thought about why are there no women in this job? I really don't know. I don't know if it's because guys give them too bad of a time, or I honestly don't know. I think it'd just be a great field to be in, you know, especially for people that are who like to work with their hands or who are very creative or something. Maybe it has to do with money. Maybe they don't like the business end of things. And I mean, who likes the business end of? I honestly don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I wish there were more women. I certainly would have hired them. I got my training, well, in kind of a funky way. I mean, I watched my grandfather and I watched my dad as a kid growing up because they were both builders. And I just watched and learned. If I got a job early on and I thought I could do it but didn't know enough, I'd go, yeah, I can do that. And I'd run down to the library and get a book and I'd read and I'd go, oh yeah, I can do that. A lot of trial and error at home. I'd try, if I needed to build a cabinet box or something, I'd kind of build one at home, see how I would do that. And I know they have classes because I've taught them out at Rock Creek. So, and some of those classes had women in them. What they did afterwards, I don't know. Whether they stuck with it or, I don't know. First, my college professor hired me, so that's basically how I got the first job. So I started doing landscaping and, you know, hauling mulch and gardening and making gardening beds and all that sort of thing. And then my next client was an elderly woman, and she asked if I knew how to fix a screen door. And I said yes, so I fixed the screen door. Then I went on to some other client and they said, oh, by the way, can you fix my steps? So I fixed the steps. So before I knew it, I was fixing everybody's things and doing less gardening work. Then things started getting a little bit bigger in repairs and whatnot. So eventually I ended up picking the name. I needed something clever to attract attention is what it was. So I picked Jill of all trades. If there were any women in construction when I began, they were basically for commercial, but no residential that I was ever aware of. I asked my dad countless times, Dad, show me how to do this, teach me that. And he just never did. So I just watched. And one summer I said, Dad, I need to know a little bit more, and I want to know, will you take me on through the summer? I want to know more about framing and construction and stuff like this because I want to build a custom home. And he said, okay. Well, when I got up there, of course, he really didn't teach me a lot. He just, you know, basically get this, do that, get this, you know, the gopher routine again. And one time we're both handling the chute on either side, you know, getting the concrete. And he looks at me and he goes, why don't you just get married? Have a guy take care of you, yada, yada, yada. I said, Dad, don't you remember I did that once? Do you see him here? Taking care of business, anything. Do you see him? And he said, well, no, good point. I go, right. I'm not doing that. Been there, done that. I want to do this. Well, it's such hard work on a woman. I said, it's hard work on a man, but it's hard work. But it's what I like to do. And I don't want to go to work for somebody else. And when I did have jobs with other people, if they can't keep you busy, like on the last job that I had at Catlin Gable, if they couldn't keep me busy, I went home. Oh, that didn't set well. And I thought, look, I don't need to stand here around here. I can only sweep this floor so many times looking busy. I can go home and build, I can read, I got all kinds of things I can do. You know, I can be with my kid, I can, you know. So I just decided I didn't like working for other people and wanted to go on my own. That's not for everybody. A lot of people like working for a company, you know, and just at the day they're done, because at the end of my day wasn't done. I still had to write up the bids, do the contracts, answer the phone, go look at jobs, put the tools away, that kind of thing. So the job isn't over just because I go home. So working for yourself is not for everybody. But why I don't see other women working for other construction companies, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, when I first started out, it was kind of interesting because when you're a woman in anything that you do, whether it's construction or anything, you have to do it correctly. You have to work harder at it. If you make a mistake, oh, it's always because, oh, you're a woman and that's always what they say. But if a guy does the same thing and makes a mistake, nobody says bupkis. I used to take a lot of grief. A lot of times if you're up on a roof and they're carrying a board, they like to kind of turn it like, and see if they can bump you off, or, just stupid, shitty stuff. Well, I would go and I would just do my job, and I got done. I did put my time in, did what I had to do, and I'd go home and I'd say, bye guys, and they'd still be in there dinking around. After a while, I would see sort of the same people on other jobs and stuff as I went along, and then they started having a little more respect because they realized that I could do it. But a lot of times it didn't matter because I was getting a lot of jobs. Women would hire me. Older women, single women, young women that didn't have, husbands or boyfriends would hire me because they felt more comfortable having them in their home. So a lot of the business after I left working on the Victorians in Northwest started being a lot more women that would call on my ad. Follow your passion. Be the best that you can be at whatever it is you choose to do. And I suppose don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Because when my family told me I couldn't do it, it's like, watch me, I'm going to show you. Hell with that. So, yeah.